This is the Lime-Flavored Network. This show is brought to you by Trisha's Bakery at trishasbakery.com. Welcome to the greatest show online. That's Bob.
Hi.
I'm the other guy. I'm over here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You are now there.
There we go. That's where I need to be. Yeah. So, as I stated, this is the greatest show online. The only rule is there is no rules. Bob's the man with the plan.
All right.
What do we got, Bob?
Well, we have the remember when you were saying that Bob's the man with the plan?
Yes.
Lost it.
You lost the plan. Okay. Well,
I had it right here somewhere, but
well, we had a good run, Bob. The greatest show online apparently only has a minute-long episode. Just kidding.
Huh?
Just kidding. What are you eating?
It's a cookie. It's a big cookie. My mother, for Valentine's Day, made us all a large cookie and then wrote our names on them. So it's like this massive chocolate chip cookie. Well, I ate mine really fast because I'm a fat guy. So, sitting here since Valentine's Day, my wife's. So I said to her, "Are you going to finish that cookie?" And she says, "No, you want it?"
Do I want it?
I'm a fat guy.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is odd, because I'm trying to lose weight.
Oh.
Yes. I've lost 10 pounds overall since I started trying to lose weight, but I've gained like 3 or 4 of it back because I hurt myself a couple of times.
Wow. I, too, am trying to lose weight. I went to storage and I got my exercise stuff. Heavy. No fun to take to storage.
I figured you would try to lose weight by walking into a room and trying to leave the room before your weight realized where you were going.
You could do that?
I don't see why not. The weight would be lost.
That's true.
You ever see those commercials on TV where somebody would bring up a big floppy jiggly ass and they'd go, "I just found somebody's ass in the parking lot."
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, see? I bet those people just abruptly left. Now, on the commercial they said, "I'm sure somebody walked upstairs, or walked to work or something like that to lose this ass." And I'm like, no, I don't think that's it. I think they walked into a room and quickly left, shut the door, and the weight didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Now, one of my things is I took all the mirrors out of the house. Obviously, if there's 2 of me, I weigh more, right? So, got rid of all the mirrors.
Edna! Edna! Okay.
What's an Edna?
It's our yeah, just keep rolling that way, Bob. We want everybody to be wondering what Edna is.
We may never know.
Well, probably not.
It's a big scary monster.
Well, actually, I listened to another show where every time they get into a funny bit, they yell for Edna to get them something. So, Edna's a fictional housekeeper, kind of. So that's a call back. That's a call out to that person if they ever watched the show.
Awesome. You guys rock. But you don't have the greatest show on the internet. That belongs to us.
We don't have the greatest show on the internet either. We have the greatest show online.
That's it. That's what we have.
Yes.
Dude. Well,
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I'd envisioned this going so much smoother, but we seem to be taking a lot of breaks.
Oh, it's going pretty smooth.
It is going, well, like butter.
Well, you know, like melted butter, so.
Melted butter. Well, I think this is a good time to interject a Navy story that may not be captured on audio yet. Or
Ooh,
video.
okay.
This would be one that you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured I'd tell it. And again, this is the story of Bob not paying attention to where the party was at. Actually, let's save that one for the future. I think that one's been captured. Let's go with DJ discovers Bob having fun without him. This is not a masturbation story, folks. Thankfully. No. Okay. I don't know where I was.
People just signed off.
No.
Or it might be, maybe.
It's possible. Possible it's a masturbation story. I know that there's shitting of the pants involved. Okay. I don't remember where I was coming back from, but I walk into our half of the house that we shared with Ivy and April. With the separated the wall. I come in, and you are huddled in underneath our sink, giggling like a schoolgirl. And
now, if you're going to be like a schoolgirl under the sink, best place. Try it. You like it.
So, my natural curiosity kicks in, and I think, what in the hell is Bob having so much fun with underneath the counter? So I walked over and I asked, can you guess? Bob, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, and that's exactly what you did. You shushed me. So then you backed out and you showed me underneath the sink, there's a hole in the wall that led to their cupboards, which is where their sink was on the other side of the wall. Now, were they doing dishes at that point? Or
I think they were, but she quickly went away.
because I know that.
It went away real fast.
So I know that you took a broom handle or a stick of some sort, and we heard her run water into the sink, and she did leave, and then we popped open their cupboard door and quickly shut ours. And then, of course, we listened very carefully because that's what we do. And April made some complaints to her boyfriend, who we know is Ivy.
Hmm?
Ivy thought that there might be a mouse in the house. Which, I don't know how Bob thought, but... Yeah, I don't know how Bob thought, but I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh, the first time she screamed loud.
Well, that was the second hit when she was doing the active dishes, and I think I encouraged you to do it while she was standing there.
That could be, yeah.
So she's actively scrubbing the dishes, and we can hear it because she's making a lot of noise. And Bob pops the door open to the scream, yes, which we all heard, anywhere in the house. And I think at that point I knew Ivy was home at that point, but I wasn't sure he was home before.
I don't remember.
We quickly shut our door again. And we, of course, listened for the conversation, which happened near the sink, about, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a mouse in the house now, or a rat, or something.
Whatever it is, it's something big.
Whatever it is, it's something big. We waited a little bit longer, opened the cupboard door again, and I think you popped it open one more time, and that's when Ivy was convinced, at least what it sounded like through the wall, that there was a rat or a mouse in the house. Now, we are both attempting not to laugh out loud, because if we laugh, the jig is up. But we are both rolling on the floor. We calm ourselves. And then we open the door, and there's Ivy's eyeball staring at us through the hole.
You bastard! bastards!
You bastards. I think there were some friends of theirs that came over and we did that with them. I mean, we popped the door open.
Could have been like Chris and Colleen or something like that.
No, it was the guy. I think it was the guy that installed all of our stereos in our cars. The one that lived way the hell over. He lived in a forest.
Stereo guy?
Yeah, stereo guy.
We never call him that, but that's a cool name for somebody who installs stereo.
That or if he talks out of 2 channels.
Ooh, yeah, brilliant.
So yeah, that also is that's a Navy story tied to another favorite Navy story of mine, where Bob buys a universal remote and quickly gets the TV numbers off of Ivy and April's TV before they get home.
Seriously, they thought that they thought they had rats, they thought they had cats, and they thought they had poltergeists. The fuck was that?
That's the missus sending me a message. Anyway, yeah, they thought they had all kinds of stuff. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Some people are going to see the message because it popped into my recording window. Whoops! Oh, well.
Hope it wasn't anything bad.
No, I don't think you can see very much.
Hey, still, no, delete.
And the universal remote you had, I remember very distinctly, was shaped like a pizza.
Yes, I remember that. It was like an individual slice of pizza.
Yes. And there were pepperoni buttons and a mushroom button, probably an olive button. The crust did something too, I remember that. Maybe that just had the sensor in it.
Who has a pizza remote?
Who? Do you still have it?
No, I don't know where. It's probably the same thing that happened with, all remotes, is that at the time, I think it was based more of the remote instead of the TV. So if you didn't have the remote that came with, or the paper that came with the remote, you couldn't use that remote for anything. So we all ended up doing the same thing, where we would end up with a whole lot of remotes that didn't do anything because we didn't have the codes for them anymore.
Come here. We're being joined. Well, you can't really see it by a dog, but he's
Buzzball.
he's getting antsy, so I figured I'd bring him up. Anyway, I bring up the pizza.
For those of you who don't know, that was a Star Wars quote, and I got cool points for that. And if you don't know that, immediately after this video, you need to go watch the Star Wars movies. Just saying.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
The pizza. We waited till Ivy was ranting and raving about some movie that April needed to see. We both saw it. I don't remember what it was. But we hid out in the backyard and changed the channels and fast-forwarded and turned on the TV and shut off the TV, and it was a hoot and we would turn the volume all the way up, and we had Ivy investigating the TV pretty heavily. It was a TV VCR combo. I remember that.
Probably the ones that we stole from the military.
We never did any such thing, Bob. We're good boys. Ah! Okay. Whoa.
See that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still works.
Wow.
That's an old TV. Thank you, taxpayers.
It's a very old TV. Anyway, the jig was up when both you and me were standing in the backyard. I think we only went, I don't know about you, but I only went into the backyard of that house twice. That night.
I went up to. Do you remember? Okay, we set fire to the backyard once. We made that homemade napalm.
Which you couldn't get off your shoe after you tried stamping it out?
It was on my shoe. The gas can went up in flames. Oh, we had a hell of a time with that stuff. So, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. So, if you want to play with fire, I suggest homemade napalm. It's great.
I'm pretty sure you lost that shoe, too.
It's possible. I know we lost the gas can. Oh my god! I thought there was gonna be an explosion.
Yeah, so the pizza and the napalm, those were the 2 times I was in that backyard.
No, there was another time. Do you remember the chem lights, the military glow sticks? We had a whole lot of them. So
I may have come
open-
into a couple of boxes of those.
Yes. Thank you, taxpayers.
Oh.
So we're cutting them open. We had them on our hands. I put them in my mouth. We were everything was glowing. We were writing on stuff, and I had a black trunk type box that if you write on it with a highlighter, you couldn't see it at all unless the black light was on. So we had the black light on. Everything was glowing. We were out in the yard, just splashing this glow stuff all over, and April's dog came outside. And every time we tried to get the tree to glow, the dog thought it was great. It was jumping all around. That dog was glowing like you wouldn't believe because it had all this chem light. Chem.
I don't think I was there for that.
Oh, you were there. I know you were there because you wrote some of the stuff that was on the box right before we came outside. I still have that box.
Hey, you know how I keep telling you stories and you keep going, I don't remember being there for that? I think this is one of those where I don't remember being there for that.
Really?
That's pretty neat.
We had a lot of chem sticks and so many that it was okay to break them open, and we had them on strings that we were flinging around, and we were just like cutting them open and spraying them on stuff and just, having fun with chem lights.
Speaking of chem lights, when I got back from the Navy, I had a sizable number of chem lights. And I passed them out to all the girls at this parking lot that everybody hung out on Main Street. I was quite the popular individual.
Nice.
Yeah.
Show me boobs and I'll make you glow.
Oh, I didn't even have to ask that. I would see things.
Bourbon Street. Best street planet.
Were you part of my 21st birthday?
Mayhaps. I don't remember.
Well, I was having it on Bourbon Street, and on the way there, I was drinking Brass Monkey so that I wouldn't have to pay so much on Bourbon Street to get drunk.
Were we there with Ivy and like a bunch of our friends?
Ivy and Chris. There are 3 or 4 other individuals. I think I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I was. Here's the weird thing. You know how bad my memory is.
Yes.
I stopped on the way there and bought a whole bunch of tubes with cigars in them that were soaked in brandy.
Those things were disgusting.
How the fuck do I remember that?
Here's what I remember, which isn't much because my memory stopped at about 11:30 that night.
And I was wearing my Malkavian shirt that night.
I
I'll get
know.
to you later. Remember that.
I know you were wearing some sort of shirt because we actually got stopped by 3 or 4 groups of girls.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I remember from that night. That group, I made out with the leader because she gave me her number, wrote it in lipstick on one of my dollar bills. I had a wad of dollar bills for some reason. You don't need them on Bourbon Street for any reason, but I just had a whole bunch of them. Anyway, so I made out with her up in one of the offshoot club things. I think we were dating for a short period of time as well because of that night. But she lived in Florida, so we never really met after that.
Wow.
Yeah. So you could kiss her. Anyway, here's what else I remember. I remember us going into several strip clubs because they're all over down there. I remember...
Oh, yeah.
I remember drinking... I remember being goaded into drinking more than I should have. And this is the reason my memory basically stops at 11:30. I ended up getting more numbers before my memory stops. There's your power ring again. More numbers before my memory stops. I think it was 6 numbers for the entire night. I was dating 3 of them.
Simultaneously.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously, they all ended fairly abruptly because I had a girlfriend shortly thereafter. But the first time I threw up, I remember that it was an unpleasant experience. Ivy thought it would be a good idea to slap me on the back while I was throwing up, so it was coming out my nose and everything.
Yeah, because that's always a great idea.
Well, he threw up later on too, because I threw up on his shoes for the second time. And the third time, we were trying to laugh and puke at the same time, both me and him. And I remember this because his nose started bleeding while we were throwing up. So he was puking that hard.
Damn.
But I think that... Yeah, I see that. I think his nose was bleeding, though, because he may have headbutted the car he was leaning up against. Like while he was heaving, he went down and there was a car there.
Right.
Because I remember...
No, I don't know if it was that night, but I know that I was puking so hard that the blood vessel in my eye burst. Yes. And my eye was red. Like, seriously, like, all the white was red, and it was awesome. I wanted both my eyes to look like that forever and ever. It healed.
Well, we went to the mall in Biloxi to freak out girls with your blood red eye and my fake vampire teeth.
I remember those. I tell people about those because I totally wanted some. And I went there to get some, and the dentist guy said he didn't have time because it was the end of the appointment, and at the end of the appointment is always a busy time for dentists.
Yes.
And in my opinion, what the hell's more important? Somebody's oral health or fucking fangs from Miotto? Come on, people.
Well, he didn't actually make my fangs. He had somebody else come in and show me that this guy had all kinds of fake fangs, and he had crazy teeth, and he had like big horse-looking teeth, and he had a whole set of stuff. And well, he showed me the vampire teeth. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I don't think I have it anymore, but I used to have the mold of my upper mouth because they had to, mold the thing on.
Yeah.
I had that for a decade. I may even still have it downstairs in my basement. That was so great. Those teeth, though, they fell out of the container I had them in one day, and I stepped on them, so they were broken in multiple locations.
That's sad.
It is sad. You might also remember that I had my natural teeth extended a little. Now,
really?
Yeah, they weren't as bad as the actual vampire teeth. Those went all the way down, but my canines were a little longer. And I say were because this one still is. But I was wrestling my son one day, and I don't know what I did, but I landed on the floor or I hit my head or something, and this one popped off. It was very sad. I keep waiting for the other one to pop off, but it hasn't.
I kind of want to have my things like ripped out, dentally. Is that a word?
Dentally?
Anyways, have them removed or however they do it, and then have like big old. Oh
my God, you froze. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Bob, I can't hear you anymore! This is the greatest action shot ever. Yes. And if anybody was actually wondering if this was really FaceTime, it is. So, when we last left Bob, he was telling me about the length of fangs.
Yes. The idea of having a huge fangs screwed in my skull, I like that concept because that way, when I'm 90 and all my other teeth are gone, I'll still have two huge fangs.
That would be a little freaky with his fangs and gum.
You know, I don't got it.
Edna! Uh-oh. No! Oh, I can still hear you. So you moved into the house now.
I'm in the house. I didn't know if that was my fault, so I came into here to see if there was some sort of a issue with, like, I don't know what's going on, man.
I couldn't tell you either.
I blame the kid.
Let's do that. Let's blame children in general.
Yes, all of them.
Yes. Children.
There's little kids starving in third world nations right now, and they're responsible for us getting disconnected. Do your homework.
Well, I think it's because they're eating all the Wi-Fi.
What's that?
I think it's because they're eating all the Wi-Fi.
Right, because they're starving.
Wi-Fi is not very filling.
Feed me Wi-Fi. No.
Oh, I've actually got to edit this thing now. Now the folks at home watching this on YouTube will not understand that we've just disconnected and reconnected twice, because I'll probably cut all that.
You need one of those standby screens.
Yeah, with like you mooning the screen or something.
The what?
You can like moon the screen or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know if there's anybody out there who wants to see my ass. Well, couple. Well, you guys are sick.
I have seen it.
Right? That was an accident.
Yeah, well, we did share a bathroom at several points.
I'll tell you what. For anybody who doesn't know this is cool. The apartment studio that we were renting or living in, were we actually paying money to live there?
We were, for a while.
Huh.
Did you know?
Anyways, it was... Huh?
Did you know that Ivy had no claim to that place? We were just basically occupying it for 6 months.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either until the guy showed up.
Wow. Yeah, it was a great place to live. It's like the whole big room it was the bedroom, the kitchen, everything. The only thing that was separate was like the bathroom. And it had like this little raised area where you'd go into there, and it had like a sink area. And then around the corner, you can open up another door, and had the toilet in there. So the walls had, I don't know if you remember the walls in the bathroom where the sink was, but they were carpeted.
Wait.
Do you remember that?
Well, okay, maybe. Because I was thinking wood paneling, but their wood paneling was in that closet thing on the opposite side of the toilet wall.
Yes. It was carpeted, and I had my Natural Born Killer poster hanging up there, and we used to use that wall to throw our throwing stars at, because couldn't see the holes. It was carpeted.
Now I remember that. I remember that we bought a bunch of throwing stars, and because they come unsharpened, we had to physically sharpen them.
Yes.
Because you can't have dull throwing stars.
No, I don't know why anybody would want that. That's crazy. And I just keep on buying sharp things. I can afford more expensive ones when I got older. So, like, the more time went by, the more I would get.
Things I regret. Not buying a sword in Japan.
That was the fatty part of my hand wrapped around my camera. Okay. No sword.
Yeah. That was it.
Okay. Oh, that's it?
Yeah. Do you remember Okinawa? Wait.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. You weren't there for this. You weren't in the military yet. Okay.
I was in there for Okinawa.
Were you?
Not the first time.
The first time is what I'm talking about. Okay, let me tell you a story about when you weren't in. Okay. The premise of this story needs you to realize that Chris, Ivy, sometimes Monty, and myself were almost in a near... Dear God.
We're almost what?
We were almost in a constant state of being near each other.
Okay.
I was standing watch, and Chris was going out to the little mini mart across the road from the thing, and that's when we met, and that's when he introduced me to Vampire, and then we brought Ivy in, and then we brought Monty in. So, in Okinawa.
The kid was in the shot.
In Okinawa, there was a street, like a street mall with like a roof on it, but it was basically just sidewalk with windows to be opened up.
Okay.
In this street mall were BB guns. BB guns shaped...
With the rubber BBs?
Well, you could put any kind of BBs in them. But they were shaped like real guns, like M60s and M16s and Uzis and all kinds of stuff. And Ivy purchased himself... Okay, wait. In Okinawa, do you remember that there was one really tall barracks building, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's important to note that Chris lived on the top floor of that building, 4th floor. Okay, so Ivy bought himself, I want to say, an M60 look-alike BB gun.
Mm-hmm.
Night number 1 of why guys should not drink and not have anything else to do on the weekends. Okay, Ivy, I wasn't there for this immediately. I was there for the second incident. Ivy and Chris ordered pizza to be delivered from Kadena to our little camp. Camp Shields, I think it was, right? Shields?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I was only there for 2 weeks in the beginning and 2 weeks at the end.
Well, the pizza man delivered the second pizza while I was there, and what I was told was that Ivy was triangulating his shots for the first pizza guy. The second one, he was basically zeroed his weapon with BBs. So the second guy is on his way in, and I don't understand why a BB gun needs to be an automatic weapon, but Ivy basically unloaded.
Wow.
He took out the guy's tire and he put a couple of took the paint off some of the car a little bit. Nothing like super damaging, but Ivy became the reason that all of these BB guns had to be checked into the armory until we got back to home port. There were so many other alphas mad at him because he took aim at the pizza guy.
Wow. That's brilliant. Dash fucked up.
Yes, it was pretty bad. Reason number 2 why guys should not have anything better to do than drink. Ivy, Monty, and I got together in Chris's room because Chris was supposed to be off of watch so that he could run us through a vampire game.
Okay.
I don't remember who Chris's roommate was. Maybe it was Ivy. That would make sense. So we were in that room.
They were when we were in Puerto Rico.
No, I was Chris's roommate in Puerto Rico. Because I requested it. Anyway. So we're in... I'm pretty sure that they were in the same room. So, okay, so Ivy and me and Monty were sitting in the room drinking, waiting for Chris to get off. Monty disappeared for a little while and came back and said, Chris got drug into another shift. So Ivy and I are immediately like, oh, are you kidding? We've basically wasted our whole night. Well, that's what we were thinking anyway. So Monty decides he's going to go to bed early, which at early was like 1 o'clock in the morning. Ivy and I, we keep drinking.
Naturally.
Well, I don't remember what I was drinking, but I know he was drinking Bacardi 151 because he said at one point, "Did you know that this stuff lights on fire?" And I was like, "Really?"
It has begun.
So we start pouring a little bit here, pouring a little bit there, lighting it on fire, having some fun. That wasn't enough for us. Jason, Ivy got the grand idea that, you know what? You know what would be really awesome? Fire that's flying. You're right. So we started making paper airplanes, and wow, we must have emptied an entire notebook trying to make the perfect airplane. One that would fly nice. We finally got a design that both of us could agree on that we tested several times down the hallway that would fly. But we didn't want to throw a flaming paper airplane down the hallway. We wanted to throw it outside. We ripped the screen off of the 4th floor room, doused the pride and joy of our air fleet, of our squadron, in 151, lit it on fire, and chucked it out the window. The thing burned up before it even got a decent amount of flight, so basically it was gone. So at that point, Ivy's like, okay, that was too much. And I was like, yeah, plus it got floppy when we got it wet. Well, no duh. Well,
Yeah.
the geniuses that we are, we come up with a way to build something in the middle of the paper airplane.
You should have made it out of Cookie Crisp. Then it would have gotten soggy.
Anyway, we come up with a trough to hold the 151 in the airplane that would also burn up. I don't remember what we made it out of. So we fill it with 151 up to the rim. We light it on fire. We chuck the plane out the window. And it flew for a little while. But then it, burst into flame and it became a fiery phoenix, and then it flamed out. A couple more of those. And we had a knock on the door. Well, it's Ivy's room, or Chris's room, but Ivy's room. So Ivy's the one that answered the door. And me, being heavily drinking, I decided I needed to go to the bathroom when that knock happened. So I'm in the pisser when I hear the conversation through the door, which went something like this. Are you the ones throwing the flaming balls of whatever out the window?
No, that was those other kids.
Ivy said yes. He was basically said, the long and short of it is whoever it was said, stop it. And we had to, because we knew it. We knew that the next time would be curtains for us.
And we were able to get away with a lot of stuff when we were in the military. I mean,
We were.
yeah, I think that everything that we came up with, somebody else had come up with. Like, it's all been done. You can't have that many people drinking and not come up with every possible ability.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cool.
Yeah, this is Navy story time, obviously.
Yeah.
You got any cool Navy stories that maybe I wasn't present for?
I totally do.
All right.
I was thinking of it earlier when you were talking about something else. I don't remember what it is now, though.
How are you the star of this show, then, Bob?
Ah, I got you.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. No, I got nothing.
You know what I miss, Bob?
What's that?
I miss driving around, being able to pay for 3 or 4 tanks of gas in a single day because it was cheap,
Yes.
and talking and recording ourselves talking and letting others listen to those conversations.
Bob on Fire.
Was that?
That's what we called the first album of Bob on that we did. Was called Bob on Fire, and we were going to set me on fire at the end of it.
We were actually. Yeah, we never did though. It's probably a
Which is
good thing. Yeah.
good.
The world would be a sadder place because of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That was podcast version like 1.0.
I
And I don't know where you're at now. Like version
100.
10.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I remember that we brought April with us one time to try to add a third person into the mix, and that bombed terribly.
Yeah. But it was cool. She, just like us, but a female.
Yeah. April, if you're watching us or listening to us, we want to say hi.
Yes. Get a hold of us.
At 1BOB, 1 Bob 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 Bob.
That's like binary, but it's more like Bob-ary.
Bobberry, there we go.
No, but we're Facebook, all that stuff. You can find us.
You
Not
can.
put it into it late. The problem is, here's the problem when it comes to finding people. Every guy that I knew since my whole life, they still have the same name. I might not remember what it is, but they have the same name. Girls, they change them. So it's like you can get in touch with all the guy friends that you ever had. The girls, you gotta wait for them to say, "Hey Bob, remember me?" And just for the record, no girl that I ever known talk like that. Hey Bob.
Do you remember Keller and Tavel?
Sounds like a law office.
No, they were both brunettes, and they were both smoking hot. And they hung out together. So it was like the smoking hot twins. For the purposes of making sure that people can't be tracked down, I don't know what Tavel's name is now, but we're going to call her S. And we're going to call Keller M.
M?
M. She has a new last name, and I'm her friend on Facebook.
Oh.
So, M and S. Like I said, smoking hot. Both of them. M got...
S and M?
That's a horrible, horrible thing to say, but yes. Yes, it is.
Sorry, guy brain.
They, after Puerto Rico, I had asked S on a date, and she did not like that idea. And I phrased it that way because she literally said, "I don't like that idea." Her loss.
No, ideal. The answer was, only if I can bring my friend. That doesn't happen to guys like us.
No, it doesn't. Sit down. So, the reason I bring this up, S was married to the dude that gave her last name. So if S's first name was Susan, for instance, so it'd be Susan Tavel in this example.
Okay.
She got divorced right after Puerto Rico, which I found out later was the one deployment site that had the highest divorce rate for Seabees.
It was pretty fun there.
So, Susan got divorced. They didn't have any kids, but she had to go back to get something from her husband that he had. So she goes in and gets it, and apparently they had an argument, and she comes back to work the next day, and she's like, Am I unattractive? And I'm like, no. She says, because he's already found another girl, but I'm confused. And we're like, oh, okay. She had a picture that she stole from her husband of him and this new girlfriend. So, I don't remember what his name is. I'm just going to call him Travis, just so I have a first name to work with, Travis Dowell. Travis dumped Susan for Sally, let's say.
Okay.
Sally was Susan's clone. I mean, for fuck's sake, it was the same girl in a different body. I was like, oh holy shit. She's like, okay, so it's not just me. She looks like me. And I'm like, oh, you two were standing in a hall. I would be confused.
That's awesome. I want more of me.
I wouldn't mind more of you too. One that hung out here with me.
I want enough me where I could play football myself.
Whoa.
And I'm not a football fan, but I would assume that all of me's wouldn't be.
Maybe all of you wanted to have an actual a reenactment of some sort of medieval battle.
I can see me's doing that.
But would you say me's or would you say we's or us's?
I guess it would all depend on like who was around, our tenseness.
Your tensity.
But I would definitely, we wouldn't be numbered if there was more of me. And I know this because it's not like we would take a vote on it and be like, all right, Bobs, who all say that we number ourselves? We're not going to do that. I know that because we all think the same. We're all Bobs. So we would all be called Bob Miotto. All right? Because it would be great to say Bob Miotto. We're like, yes, Bob Miotto. Just like that. So it would be, we would use our names all the time. That would be great.
Would you say your full name like that all the time?
Probably. Or, Bob. Yes, Bob. What are you doing, Bob? You know, Bob. Like that. It might just be that part because...
Would you share women, though?
See, that's a tough call. Here's why.
Okay.
They'd all be me.
Right.
So I don't think there's wrong with it. But I'm kind of jealous of a guy. So all of me's would be a jealous guy. So, have you ever seen a sad fat man and they sit there crying? Imagine a bunch of fat mans kicking the shit out of themselves. It would be kind of like that, I think.
Who's that over there fighting with Bob? Oh, that's Bob. They're both Bob? It's the same guy. He's just doubled.
Like, all the time. The best joke that I would have would be, I'm just standing here talking to myself. And I'd have a conversation with, like, 4 others of me.
Would you have a collective consciousness?
That would be awesome.
Would it?
That would be truly... Maybe. So, like, okay, let's say them is, like, far away, and I'm wherever I am. Would I be able to know what the other me is thinking, seeing,
right.
smelling? All that? That's kind of neat.
But what if he has a night job and you're trying to sleep?
Yeah. Well, I definitely, if that was the case, we would all either be working at the same place, probably sharing the work. But the problem with that, and everybody thinks that sort of thing, I know you thought about it, the listeners. Do we have any listeners?
Yes.
They've all thought about this.
Yes.
Huh?
I've actually considered this, but I've also defeated myself.
And the concept is that if there is, let's say, 7 of me, or 5 of me, we have the weekend off. We would each only have to work a day a week. The problem is that every day we would all eat the amount of food that each of us would eat. So could you afford to work 1 day each?
I didn't even go that direction. I went a slightly different direction. 5 of me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to work that day, so I would make a 6th one of me so that I wouldn't have to work. But the problem is those 6 would also make 6 to make sure they didn't have to work.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to work either.
So there'd be 7,000 DJ Allens running around, not working.
That's a lot.
Eating food.
Yeah. Eating food. Now, when you think about it, there's so, especially with the group consciousness, there's so much that you could do with a group consciousness. You'd never be working a day in your life. You'd be gambling. You'd be, I don't know. let's say you worked in a restaurant. You're
I
the
worked
cook
in a restaurant.
as cook. So you're a cook, and the other you is out there, just walking around the room taking orders and stuff. And you know about it because you're in there. They can he can actually walk up to your table and say, "What would you like?" And they write down, and he can stand there bullshitting with you, and somebody comes out with your food that he wrote down on his paper because you knew about it and you made it and sent it out. They're like, but you never left their table, but yet their food comes out.
And it would be especially freaky if I brought their food out.
Yeah, yeah. I would open my own business. Call it 12 Bobs.
What if
You
13
would,
Bobs worked there?
huh?
What if 13 Bobs worked there?
Well, one guy would be a supervisor and he wouldn't give a fuck. So, guess what I would do in my store, in my place, if I owned my own business?
What would you
And
do?
there was any fucking thing I wanted. That'd be the cool part about it. I'd be like taking money from people just to come in and see 13 Bobs. You know, whatever the hell I want to, or be like, do that gag with like the big mirror frame, and you're like trying to mimic the other one, and then like when somebody walks up and you're and like only one of them does that.
Edna! It's a great idea.
There's 13 of you? Yeah, we're identical twins. But twins is two. I know, right? That'd be great. People would, regardless of what you did, people would come and see it. Especially if, I don't know. First of all, people wouldn't believe it. Come see the amazing 13 Bobs.
At 12 Bobs.
What?
The 13 Bobs at 12 Bobs. Because the place is named 12 Bobs, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or it'd be called because you spell all.
That's like a baker's dozen of Bobs.
Yeah. How many people does it take to play? How many people are on a football team?
American or European?
It could be an African swallow.
11.
African swallows?
Yes, 11 Africans would swallow because they're so hungry. Offensive joke alert!
The rest of the die. Offensiver! That's a cool word.
That's the title of this show, Offensiver.
Offensiver. Nice.
It's true. It's very true. This is the greatest show online, Bob.
It is. Since the show is going to be called Offensiver, can you think of something offensiver than what I just said? Which probably wouldn't be too offensive depending on who's listening to it.
Yeah, that's the problem is I would have to know the audience listening to be more offensiver.
So, if you are listening, send an email, send something. Let us know that you're listening.
Yeah, to officiallimeflavored@gmail.com. We'll and write greatest show online as the subject. We'll read it.
That's this show.
That is the show. And next week we'll have 3 Bobs and 2 DJs. It'll be a full house.
Nice.
It'd be nice if you lived here, Bob.
Where are we going to get the other us's?
At Bob's R Us.
Bob's R Us. Nice. I turned in a work order one time at the job that I just got terminated from. I say terminated because it sounds better than fired. But you know what? Terminated sounds like I was killed. Anyways.
A little bit.
I turned in a work order. There was this guy that I did not like. He was a mecha high guy. You know, raghead without the rag. He was from Yemen.
Ah,
Yemen.
Yemen.
Yep.
It's more than a great tasting flavor.
His name was Ali. So what I did is I turned in a work order for the maintenance guy saying, for the machine that was broken, I put cloning pod. And my supervisor's name was Terrence. So under description, I put, please fix cloning pod. Terrence's clone came out retarded. Or Terrence's clone Ali came out retarded. That's what it was. And, you know, I thought it was funny. Maintenance guys thought it was funny. Everybody thought it was funny except for Ali and Terrence.
Edna, write that one down.
Edna, take a memo. But after that, other people tried turning in funny ass work orders, and they put a stop to it really quick, and people were getting in trouble because, I mean, people were turning in things in like, please install disco ball above this machine, and just crazy shit, which was hilarious, but
once it had been done, it's been done.
Yeah. And, you know, the main guy who was responsible for seeing it, laughing, and crumbling it up and throwing it away wasn't. It was going like all the way to the head maintenance guys. Head maintenance guys are guys who maintain the head.
I have a similar experience at a workplace, something like that. However, it was tech support place.
Tech support.
Outsourced tech support. It's at a crappy place here in town. I'm sure you don't care where it was. Here, anyway, we were supporting Best Buy computers.
Okay.
And I happened to be placed on the parts ordering team. So, my entire team was responsible for looking at all the orders that, you know, if the tech support didn't work to a certain point, the techs were supposed to send in these work orders to get us to order these parts. The same Rob in my story earlier, we had the competition with the patents that I told you about.
Yeah.
I think that was off camera, but we don't care. Anyway, my friend Rob had discovered that we could alter the work orders before we see them. So we had a friend named CJ. CJ got really up. When he got uptight, I mean, he was yelling. So he was easy to set off. He was a fun guy to be around when he was calm. But boy, if you set him off, he would go nuts.
Those are some of the most fun people to know.
The best thing about CJ is he could look at you with the straightest face and an angry face and go, I can't believe you just fucking said that to me! And you'd stare at him like, I don't know what I did. And then he would start laughing at you because you just took him seriously. Anyway, Rob took an...
How long on me?
Rob took an order that he knew CJ was going to be doing. CJ was responsible for a certain manufacturer, so basically we just had to find that manufacturer's ticket and put in a line to order some parts.
Okay.
Rob entered. I think it was like for a hard drive.
Yes.
So on the ticket, it was ordering a specific type of hard drive, a bag of Doritos, some carry-out Chinese, and a new personality for CJ.
Nice.
We knew CJ got it when he stomped into the supervisor's office and reamed him a new ass. I can't believe these people are fucking talking to me like this. And he's just going off and off. And Rob must have taken a smoke break when that happened. I was rolling because I knew exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And the supervisor wasn't a guy. Whoa, our viewers are gonna get dizzy. Anyway, our supervisor wasn't a guy to mess with. He was a scary individual. So the fact that CJ, who's this skinny little runt, is in his office chewing his ass like there's no tomorrow, I found hilarious. And then Rob came back in, and Rob goes, "Geez, what's going on?" And I'm like, CJ got your order, and Rob's eyes bug out, and he takes off and runs into the supervisor's office. Explains the whole thing. Now, CJ finds this hilarious now, but at the time, he was really pissed off.
That's nice.
Need a new personality for CJ.
Oh, I need my universal remote control for just a second.
Uh-oh.
Brock, can you go out to my car and get my charger, please? That's my universal remote control.
Oh, that's right, yes. It's got 2 legs and 2 arms.
Yes, and he retrieves things. I had a box thing that I could plug in, and oh, you know what? It might be my room. Hold on, kid. Because it said low battery, so I would hate to be
cut off.
Yeah.
For a third time.
Yeah. I know, right?
Oh.
Those are actually 2 words that every guy hates. Cut off.
There's worse words I could hear. Hi. There's worse words I could hear.
DJ says, "Hi, yeah, I have it. Thanks, kid." All right. Sorry about that mild interruption there.
Here's a funny thing that I saw. This couple is having sex, and oh crap!
What happened?
You flipped. Now I have to put you back in the frame. There we go. Okay, so this couple is having sex, and the girl in the sexual combination here decides to say, "Is it in yet?" You know, being funny. And he didn't. The gentleman did not find that very funny because that's a penis-sized joke. So he decided to get her back immediately by saying, "What do you mean? Am I in yet? I've been done for hours." Huh?
Nice.
That's right. Make a small joke, he's going to make a gigantic joke. Whose hollowed out cavern is... Where are you going? This is like Ghost Hunters.
Where are you going? Just just lap around the house. What, you don't do laps around your house?
I don't do laps. I'm fat. I don't do laps around my house.
I'm fat. I'm a fat guy.
I'm fatter.
Well, I have returned. Da da da. I'm a sequel.
Kind of. We got to save that for the second show, Bob.
Oh yeah. I haven't
Speaking of Bob, we don't want to waste all of our good stuff this episode, do we?
No. Fortunately, we've got buckets full of good stuff.
We do. Some of it's other people's good stuff.
Want to hear that good stuff, you'll have to tune next time.
Yep. Holy buckets, Bob. Folks, next week, folks, I swear to God, I'll make him get his power cord first.
I'll tell you what, this new job that I've got,
yes,
allowing us to have, where is it going? I think it's stopped it. Can I flip you?
No, you're good. Whoa!
Okay.
Ah.
All right.
Okay, what about your new job?
Music. This is awesome. It's a factory. The other factory that I worked in, no music. They didn't even like me singing, them bastards. So, this job, though, there's radios playing everywhere. The guy who was training me had the earbuds in, I had earbuds in, and we're just listening to music or podcasts or whatever, which is great. That's great. My other job, that wasn't so great.
When I asked Bob about his other job, when I found him on Facebook, he told me that he worked at he worked at a stupid factory. Now, knowing Bob for as many years as I've known him, I took that as Bob working in a stupid factory. A factory which produced stupid.
Yes. We
Produced stupid.
we made it, distributed it all across the world. What would you say has got to be the state that has got the most stupid in it?
Oh, wow. Texas.
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 It's amazing that you say that because that is where most of our stupid was said. We made that right there.
Well, they consume stupid at an alarming rate.
Yeah, amazingly.
We just lost all of our Texas viewers. There! I said something more offensive.
Offensiver.
Offensiver. But Bob,
Yes,
we should save our good stuff for next time too.
we should.
So
And that'll
folks,
be next week.
next week, yeah, we'll figure that out off camera. But I want to thank you for joining me, Bob.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
This is the greatest show online, people. We gave you. I'm not going to repeat it because it's a mystery. It's a fun game that you have to listen to this all and watch it all over again to find out where to email us.
Over and over and over. It's gold, man. It's audio and visual. Gold, man.
It's gold. Gold! Save it for next time.
All right.
See you later, Bob.
Bye, DJ.
Bye.
Bye-bye.